There are all kinds of opinions on the future of the real estate market. Some are very negative. Others are in denial of any kind of change at all. Well, the truth is the real estate market is always changing. Sometimes a lot and sometimes a little. And every single market down to the community and zip code is different from the next. In this edition, I am going to introduce you to a tool I use to interpret the changes in the market. And the good news, I will make this tool available to you. Hello there, this is Camas Joe, realtor and real estate market data expert, serving both Oregon and Washington, primarily the Portland and Vancouver markets, of course includes Camas. I make educational videos on buying and selling homes. I introduce people to the community of Camas through my YouTube channel. And I have folks interested in buying homes in Camas from all over the world. On my sister station, Portland and Vancouver Relocation Redefined, I have over 35,000 views. We're just getting started on this Camas channel. Just to give you an idea, that is my reach. I also educate homeowners in Camas to make good, sound decisions about selling their homes through the use of data. I've provided a link below the video in the Show More section that will take you to the Camas weekly report. After opening the report, if you see value in this report, then I encourage you to subscribe. And I will send you a new report weekly. Once the market settles down, we could probably throttle this back to a monthly update. But right now, the market's changing so much that we need to be looking at it weekly. I have so many people contacting me that I must rely on you letting me know that you desire a conversation. This is the only way I'm going to know that you are serious. I don't spend time calling soft leads. I just don't have the time for that. No, I want people to contact me who appreciate the fact that they are not being inundated with calls soliciting your business. No, you need to call, text, or email me to start your own moving experience, or just to get further clarification on interpreting the data. I'm happy to do that. The point is, you control how much you want to interact with me, not the other way around. Okay, now I'm going to do some explanation. When you open the report, this is what you will see. There are quite a few action buttons available. This is a dynamic report, not static. And depending on how big of a geek you are, I think this report is presented in a way that will satisfy everybody from not very much of a geek to a total geek for data and information. So to start with, on the left-hand side of the page is a speedometer. This is the Market Action Index. The aqua-colored band represents where we are today on the speedometer. The dark gray bar represents where we were last week. So in just a quick look, you can see what direction we are headed in. There's also some verbiage right above the speedometer, and below the speedometer is more verbiage, and this explains kind of where we are on the market. If that's as far as you want to go, great. But if you want to dive deeper, there's a lot more to go. So how is this Market Action Index calculated? ? Well, if you look to the right, there's a box with a bunch of data points and some small graphics on each line. This is a live interactive feature. So there are 11 data points that go into calculating the Market Action Index. This is a dynamic section of the report. If you put your mouse over the little graph bars, you will see where the market was for that specific data point in the past and where it's at now. This portion is for 90 days, the last 90 days. Okay, back to the possible action buttons here. In the upper right-hand corner, there are options to contact me, share the report with friends and family, and most important, to subscribe. This subscription gets you updated each week. Doesn't mean another call from me, it just means you get another email with the latest data. If you don't get it on Wednesdays, let's make sure that you check your spam box or junk box. Note, one of the options is you can print a one-page PDF, or you can create a 6-page full report. And the full report's got a lot of stuff in it, worth looking at. Moving back over to the upper left-hand side of the page, you're going to have a tab you can choose, homes or condos. And there is a separate report for both homes and condos, and they're quite different. Next, in the center upper portion, there is a place where you can enter a city. Don't put the state, put the city or zip code and push search, and you will get possible Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon, etc. And just choose the one you're looking for. And you will get a report for that city or zip code. Say my clients are moving here from Southern California, which is very common. They can check their market data in their departing communities to help them stay on top of the market and verify what their realtor is telling them about the market. Okay, next we're going to scroll down on the page and look at the big graph. There is tons you can do in this section. We're getting into the strong data geek part here. First note, without making any changes, you're going to see data in a heavy line, which represents a running 90-day average, and data in a dashed light line, which represents a 1-week average. And this graph is for the past 3 years. I generally don't look at the 7-day graph a lot. I look at the statistics more. So if you go down to the bottom below the graph, you'll see 7-day and 90-day. Click those with the mouse. You can toggle on or off either the 90-day or the 7-day. I generally toggle off the 7-day so the graph is really clear. Next, let's click the little box that has market segment next to it. This turns the graph into a segmented graph based on list price into 4 equal parts of the market. The lowest prices, the next highest prices, the next to the highest prices, and the highest prices. And you'll notice that the data changes for each one of these segments. Next, we're going to move down to an area that looks more like a spreadsheet with data. I love this section. On the right-hand side, the far right is days on market, DOM. This indicates for each segment what the median days on market was before homes sold. Just to the left of those are 2 columns, and that is new. Those are new listings for this week, and absorbed. Those are the properties which sold this week. So the new and absorbed is looking at 1 week of data, and this is really useful in looking at, okay, we had 7 new homes come on the market, 7 were absorbed. So this means in this particular market segment that the inventory is not getting any bigger or smaller. On the other hand, there's a segment that says 6 new and 3 absorbed. This means that we have more inventory now than we did last week. This is great information for setting expectations with both buyers and sellers, because days on market is widely different in one market segment from the other, currently averaging 14 days to 35 days. Buyers also will find this information useful, finding your sweet spot for buying opportunities. Okay, back to the graph. Note that the top segment, the highest price segment, has a lot more volatility of strong and soft market compared to the other 3 market segments. Now, for even more fun, go up to the box above the graph, and we can change the data graph to other statistics. This is an opportunity to look at things like the MIA, the Market Action Index, over the past 3 years by segment. And wow, look, this is crazy. The lowest price market segment has consistently, over the past 3 years, has had the best performance over any other segment of the market. Also note, just like you could on the upper right-hand small graph section, you can move your cursor along the graph line and see the date and data displayed for the entire length of the graph. And this is really cool too. There's a ton more to look at here, such as days on market, and this is over the past 3 years. So you can determine, are we following the same pattern we've followed for years, or are we entering new territory? Question mark. Median list price, price per square foot, inventory, etc. It's all there. So I or we can take opinion out of decision making and use data. I've had clients call me and say, based on the data we're seeing, I think we need to lower the price. I don't even need to tell them that. So the data does not lie. But the data is all in the past, whether it is near or far. As we move forward into this changing market, we will be looking for trends that differ from the past 3 years and identifying particularly trends that are in conflict with the seasonal trends that we've seen over the past 3 years. And then go back up to the top and put in any zip code you want. And this is a good one to look at. I want you to type in 97209. That is the zip code for the Pearl in downtown Portland, primarily high-rise condos. Look at the Market Action Index as compared to Camas. I'm just pointing out here that every community is different. Camas is special. It is outperforming in Oregon, Lake Oswego, and West Lynn. My point here is that every community is different, and don't listen to the news when they say the sky's falling and we're going to see a 50% reduction in values. My point is, let the data speak for itself, and not sensationalism or national news that points out some of the worst performing markets in the country. No, all real estate is local. So, okay, what's the data telling me about Camas? Question mark. This is the week of 4th of July. 4th of July is always a slow point. Early in the week, we don't see many new listings, so let's wait till next week to really get a good picture of possibly where we're headed. I've been up all day. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon crunching data on Camas, and these are my findings and recommendation. It appears we have early signs of heading into a more balanced market, which overall is good. Buyers have been demoralized by the strength of the seller's market. Sure, the sellers love it, but fighting multiple offers and not being able to get into contract for buyers has been demoralizing. And in the spring, the market action index in Camas was at 100. Doesn't get any more of a seller's market than that. Last month, our MAI was 82. Currently, we are at 76. Still a strong seller's market. Remember, 30 is the break point for entering a buyer's market. Although in comparison to where we were earlier this spring, it may seem like a buyer's market, but no. We are transitioning slowly into a balanced market. And despite the high interest rates, this is encouraging. Median list price has gone up slightly. Price per square foot remains flat. Median days on the market remains flat. We are seeing some price reductions that we have more than we've seen in the past, but this could be a result of people that had their homes priced anticipating the market to appreciate, and they got caught with their homes overpriced for the conditions that we're in currently. They were expecting the prices to go up, so they listed their homes higher than the market. And it's always hard to separate the peak of July this year from previous years, because even though we see the numbers going up, we always see them going up in July. It's going to take a few more weeks of data to know for sure whether we're going to see a normal July peak and then things start falling off slightly, or we're going to see more exaggerated changes to the market. But okay, you're going to ask me what my gut feeling is based on the data. I believe we're going to start seeing market values in Camas start to fall over the next few months. I am projecting, this is a personal projection based on my knowledge of the market, I am projecting 10 to 15% reduction, ultimately at the low point of market decline, and slightly more than what is seasonally expected. As long as interest rates stay above 4%, and 4% is about the 20-year average. I know we've been in the Cinderella interest rate pattern here for a couple years, but once interest rates get down at 4% again, we're going to see the market prices bottom out and start to incline again. So, bottom line, sellers, to get the maximum amount for your property, I would sell sooner than later. Buyers should see better values by waiting out the market a few months. See if prices come down and interest rates to come down. This may seem like contradictory advice, but no, it's not. Market conditions are never the same for buyers and sellers. The good news, again, for buyers is that the frequency of multiple offers on homes that they're putting offers in on should decrease. It should be easier to get into contract. And 2.75% interest rates that you were pre-approved for and never got into contract on a home with don't do you any good. The Cinderella interest rates did buyers no good if they were unable to put a home into contract. Cash buyers, or buyers that have recently sold their homes, will have a much easier time getting into contract than before. There'll be less demand for homes from people that need to finance all but maybe a 5% down payment. All of a sudden, that monthly payment on a $700,000 home is $1,000 more a month than it was a few months ago. So cash will be king in this market for a while. And I would not be afraid at this point to sell your old home, get cash before buying a new one. You should be able to close on a home within 2 weeks of making your offer with cash. And the good news is if you buy one home and sell another, all of the values, your new home and your old home, are all going in the same direction. So if you would have stayed in your old home, it's going to do the same thing that buying your new home does as far as values go. So if you find the perfect home, buy it now. This has been a quick intro to my data and how to use it. I'm going to save myself a ton of time by sending this video out to people who have a ton of questions about how to use the report. But as always, you are certainly welcome to reach out to me for further clarification. All of my contact information is below the video in the Show More section. And subscribing to this report will be the one subscription you're going to be happy you've made. There's no cost to you, and I won't be bugging you. Remember, I'm going to wait for you to call me. But my goal is to start our relationship with providing you with value, and I believe that this tool will provide you value. I just ask that you remember me when you get ready to buy or sell your home. So contact me and experience the value that I provide all along the way, from our first contact clear through the transaction into a lasting relationship. Thank you.